Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to add a missing user ID field as a foreign key and establish associations between user, category, and tag models using Sequelize TypeScript. We added some foreign keys and associations in our earlier lecture, but we missed this specific user ID field for the category and tag table. So we are going to add that now. So first of all, go to the category model. Here I will add foreign key decorator, and here we will return user. Now we will add decorator for column, and then we will add a property user ID of type number. Next, we need to create an association by using belongs to decorator. Make sure to import all of these decorators that I am using, and then we will return user from this callback. And as every category can be created by one user, so we can belong one category by one user, but one user can have multiple categories. So for that, I have created property user of type user, and the user ID should never be empty, and we should not allow null. So for that, I will add the property allow null false. Now go to the tag model, and in the tag model, I will add a foreign key in the same way like we added in the category. As everything is going to be 100% same, so I will just copy paste both of these properties, and let's paste it in the tag class in this way. Okay, make sure to import these decorators. If you are using VS Code, then you may have this option. If you click on this little blue bulb icon, you will see the option add all missing imports. If you click on that, it will automatically add all of the missing imports. Just look at the imports and verify that if they are imported from the correct library or package. Once everything is correct, then we have to add some changes in the user model. Let's talk about this belongs to. So in the tag, we added belong to decorator. That basically sets up the many to one relationship, indicating that each tag belongs to a single user. Similarly, in the category model, we have added the belongs to. That sets up the many to one relationship, indicating that each category belongs to a single user. Now let's go to the user model, and here I will add the associations. First association would be for the category, so add the has many. So that will return the category from this callback function, and we will give it the property name categories, and the type of the category would be the category. It will contain the array of type category class, and the default value would be the empty array. Similarly, we need the has many for the tags, so you can just copy paste it to save some time. Okay, so here the property name would be the tags, and the data type would be tag class or tag model, and same for the return type. All right, so we have added the has many here for both category and tag that define one-to-many relationship from user to category and tag respectively. This means one user can have multiple categories and tags. Earlier, when we created all of these models, we made some of the fields compulsory by adding the allow null false, but we may have missed some of the fields. So let's verify and look at every field and see if we have missed any. If we missed this property in any required field, then we will add it. Okay, so name should be required in the category, slug should be required. Okay, user ID should also be required. That's good. Now let's go to the comment. In the comment, we have the content should be required, user ID should be required, post ID should be required. Okay, that's good. Now go to the post. So in the post, we have the title that should be required, content should be required, slug should be required, and unique, and then user ID should be required. All right, that's also good. Now go to the post tag. Here we did not specify the allow null property, so both of these fields has to be required. So let's add that. Okay, similarly we will add it on the tag ID as well. Allow null false. Save it. All right, now let's go to the tag model, and the name should be required. That's fine. By the way, I prefer to keep the associations or joins associations separate, and the column definition should be separate so that you could find them easily. So before these associations, everything would be the column definitions. Okay, so this is the required. That's great. Okay, now go to the token should be required. We did not specify the required, so let's add the allow null here as well. And in the user ID and the user ID should also be required. We can never keep the user ID empty. Okay, great. Similarly, let's reorder this column position as well. We will move it here, or we can keep it with the other columns, and the foreign keys would be after the normal columns, and it also has to be required. We cannot allow null here as well. Okay, now go to the user. Name is required, email is required, password is required, and everything else is correct. Okay, great. Save it. Now we have to run the backend server, and we have to verify in the database if everything is working correctly. So let's run it. Make sure you are in the backend folder, then run the command npm run dev. Okay, I got an error. It is saying that access denied for user this and at localhost using password no. So that's mean something is wrong. Our environment variable was not accessible or is not working, because you can see in the user there should be root, but it is saying empty. So maybe we have done some mistake. So open the .env, and this is the db user. That should be the root. Okay, and let's see how we are trying to access it. Go to the database connection. Okay, we are accessing it correctly, and here we are loading the environment variables. That should also work correctly. So let's console the environment variables here to see if we have access to our environment variables or not. For that, I will use console.log, and here I will add process.env. Save it. Okay, here I can see a lot of environment variables, but I would like to see if it has, if we find our required variables or not in this list. These are actually showing the system environment variables as well that are available in this system environment. So I don't find it anywhere because I'm searching db and it is not available anywhere. That's mean something is wrong here. Maybe it was not able to find the .env file, and I think it is looking in the root directory of the backend folder instead of the source directory. So for that, we will provide the path. Okay, now let's try it again. Okay, actually it was trying to look from the root directory of our project, and there is no .env in the root directory. So we have to add /source/.env. Now I'm sure it will work. All right, we can see it is now working. So after these changes, you can see the logs in the terminal. That's mean everything has been updated in our database and synced perfectly. We can now go to our database and see those changes. So if you go to the category, we have the user ID. In the structure, we have the foreign key that we wanted to add. Similarly, in the tags, we have the users. Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to cover in this lecture. In this lecture, we added the user ID field as a foreign key in the category and tag tables. We defined the associations using has many, foreign key, and belongs to decorators. Then we ensured that relationship between user, category, and tag are properly established. Thanks for watching. See you in the next lecture.